Welcome everyone to the presentation of Team Finder by Team Alpha, and get ready to be emerged into the future of gaming. Our main topics today are going to be the project goals, requirements and technology, UI, UX design, demo, and future ideas. So without further ado, take it away.
Alright, moving along, we first have to define what is matchmaking and why is it important to us. Well, first off, matchmaking is the process of matching and forming teams based on the player's skill level. Usually in a competitive multiplayer setting, particularly MOBAs or multiplayer online battle arenas, teams are formed based on each player's ranking system or skill level depending on how the game defines the rankings and skill levels for each player. And of course, those depends on the games they played, the wins and losses, and a bunch of statistics. The idea is to create balanced teams and compete them against each other in a balanced way. Now, this sounds good in theory, in the multiplayer game context, but it does not lend room to sociability among players. By that, I am referring to how player interaction among the teams is less than desirable, to say the least. Because, see, matchmaking is a tool used to find other players based on skill level, but it lacks the core idea of looking for other users with the same interest and playstyle that you have. Like, say for example, that you paired up with a team, and in that team, the players are rather aggressive, but you want to play passive, and this creates, miscommunications and all that, which will ultimately cost the game for the team. However, with Team Finder, we aim to resolve this issue and for better matchmaking for future games.
Here I will be presenting the technical stack for our application. We decided to use Angular for our front to generate our front end. We use PostgreSQL for our database and Spring Boot as our backend to connect these together. Here are the requirements that we have met in phase 2, beginning with creation of the user's profile. We created a random avatar generator that adds a random image to each player's profile once they log in. We created a forum space where users can share their interests, strategies, and games. This is where the matchmaking will be possible and people can create their teams or find common interests with other people. And we created the security feature for the security and authentication feature for the profiles. The player gives the username and password, and the system will give them their profile information. And we can verify this using a SMS feature where the user will receive an email so they can verify that it is them. And we were able to generate and create a UI that is easy to comprehend by the user and can be navigated easily by any gamer. Thank you.
The main goal of our UI UX design is to make an interface friendly, easy, and practical for our users. Before starting the implementation process, the visual ideas were worked using Figma, a vector graphic editor and prototyping tool. We rely primarily on design and colors, although these images do not represent the real implementation in the exact way. But here you can see how this platform helped us create our own visual adaptation. Now here you can see a demo of the real landing page.
First of all, I want to showcase the landing page. We've been using Figma to create wireframes for it, and this is the final implementation. Now I want to showcase the logging and sign up feature that we added to the page, and how can you get to the actual app itself. So when you sign up over here, when you click this button, it's gonna route you to the sign up page. Let me put my information here. So when you put your information, we actually added a SMS system that connects to an email service. So when the app is in production, it would send an activation link to the user to activate their account. In our case, because we're still in production, we're using MailDev. MailDev is an application used to connect our backend to an SMS system and send all like the emails to that location in our local host. So when we submit my account here, as you can see, a new notification is sent to the MailDev application, and when we click here, I received an email to activate my account. If I don't click activate, it's gonna expire in 50 minutes and the account's gonna be deleted. So this is just to make sure the user is actually the one that's creating the account and making it more safe to register. So now I'm gonna show you the logging. So I'm gonna use the same account that I just registered in by putting the email here, information. And this is the main application where the user is gonna interact with other players in our app. The app is still in development, but we have the main UI and how we want the page structured. So if the user is gonna create a post, when the user clicks here, it would generate this form over here. It's still in development, but as you can see, it dynamically generated this here, and we could just put the title, what type of game you want to play, and what description of players you want in your team, and you can submit that. And that information is going to be saved in this place below. All of the posts made by any user are going to be down below here, and this space down here is for users to connect and see other players that want to look for teammates in their group.
Our future ideas consist of using CI/CD to implement Jenkins to test code and have a continuous development and integration. Rive would be used to add animations to the homepage to make it look more dynamic. And with Swiper.js, the person looking for a team would be given a list of people who wish to join their team from the post that they made. Then the post creator would just swipe one direction to accept a member into their team, or swipe the other direction to reject them from their team. That is all for the presentation, and we thank you for your time.